Hi, I'm Steven from Patchwerks, and in front of me on the table today, we've got the Raindrops by Dreadbox. This is a delay pedal that comes with 3 different algorithms. You have a modulated delay, you have a pitch-shifted delay, and you also have a really gorgeous reverb. Not to mention that this is a stereo effect with a stereo input and output, so that's a really great plus. To pair with it, I brought the Korg Monologue. This is a 2-oscillator analog synthesizer. You got your oscillator 1 here, oscillator 2, little mixer section, a filter, 1 envelope and 1 LFO, and an overdrive. It also comes with a 16-step sequencer and also motion record. Before we dive into the sound demo here, I just want to briefly talk about the panel on the Raindrops here. So you have this huge time knob to control your delay rates. You have a dry-wet mix knob in the center, feedback knob right here, and this control knob. And this control knob is actually going to be multi-function because it depends on the position of this mode switch right here, as well as which algorithm you're currently on. And so I will be explaining that as we progress through the different algorithms here. So besides the 4 labels for these knobs here, there are actually also a shift function per knob here. So if I hold this on button here and I turn time, that will change our effect gain. If you hold shift and turn up feedback, that actually turns up the post feedback. If you hold shift, turn up mix, that gives you actually a low pass filter. Holding shift and turning control here will change up the time multiplication for the tap tempo. So it'll be multiplied by 1, by 2, by 3, by 4, depending on which quadrant you're in. And that's essentially the panel for this Raindrop. So it is a very capable, feature-packed delay pedal. So before we start checking out the sounds of the pedal here, I'm just going to play you the dry sound from the synthesizer. Bring it in the pedal. So if you can hear, the delays kind of started warbling, and that's because right now we're in modulated delay mode. So your modulation here, if you have the switch set to mode 1, the control knob will set your LFO rate for the modulation. If you flip it over to 2, the control becomes the amount of how much modulation is applied to the time. It's really cool. All right, so moving on to the next algorithm here. This is the pitch shifted delay. Got this sweet flute sounding patch over here on the Monologue. And you're not hearing any of the delays being pitch shifted yet because the amount for pitch shifting is turned all the way down. So you can see here with control. So I'm gonna start turning it up. And it's still not pitch shifting yet. That's because the amount for shifting is currently set to 0 semitones. I'm gonna change it up to 12 semitones, so a whole octave. So to do that, I'm gonna flip the switch over to 1 and then turn control up. You can already hear it kind of just sweeping through some of those semitones. It is unquantized, by the way. And now we got a full octave. Turn up the feedback here. Maybe turn up the post feedback. It's getting a little out of control there. It's very cool. Maybe let's try it halfway through. So that would roughly be 5 or 6 semitones on the pitch shifting. Sounds gorgeous. So moving on to the third and last algorithm here, this is called the large reverb. It's just a combination of the delay and then an additional reverb on top. So here's the dry sound. I'm going to play through it. And then bring it in the mix. So right now we're just actually hearing the delay without any reverb. If I flip the switch over to mode 2, the control now becomes the dry wet for the reverb side. And you can hear it kind of softened up, but also got a little quieter, and it's still not a huge reverb. That's because if I flip to mode 1, control becomes our reverb decay time. So yeah, sounds like a really big reverb. You know, excuse my keys playing, kind of flubbed up a few times there, but at least the reverb sounds good. Yeah, so that pretty much covers the 3 different algorithms. We're just gonna close out the video with just a few more sound demos of Raindrops, and I hope you enjoy it.